Jeremy Huffstick on a biohacked human research test subject. I've been speaking up about Havana syndrome form of vaccine injury since April of 2016, contacting the Sheriff's Department, Police Department, FBI field offices, churches, mosques, temples. But I guess starting in 2024, corporate-backed communist domestic terrorist sleeper cell working with Israeli and Chinese nationals has been running COINTELPRO here in Conway. And at first I thought it was just me that running COINTELPRO because I speak out about vaccine injury, been doing it like hardcore, doing it. And I've been on the street handing out flyers. Well, use social media starting in 2016, but handing out flyers starting in 2019. But anyways, this isn't about me. This is about what happened at Walmart with Mr. Zedric Ross and the lady that he stabbed. But on his stuff where he's talking about that man sat in here in this library, he like if he was on one end of the computer, bro, I was on the other end because he listened to headphones and he listened to heavy metal music really loud. So I would go to wherever he was at and sit on the other end because the sleeper cell members have been following me around, harassing, slandering, going into the stores. And they actually started trying to kill me in May of 2024, which they loosened all my lug nuts on my van, and then cut my brake control arm. Like a couple weeks later, one of their members was up under my van, loosening my brake line, stuff like that. And not just doing that, but yelling about you're crashing my vehicle's going to crash, or you're not going to make it far, just boastful about the stuff they do. Usually the sleeper cell members are boastful before you go see for yourself what they've done. The domestic terrorist sleeper cell members are yelling, telling you what they've done to your stuff. But just like Zedric Ross stated that he stabbed the victim while attempting to kill a demon he believed had been following him. My friend Desmond Jenkins, who they tried to catch on fire, who's also being COINTELPRO'd, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but he was truly traumatized after they tried to catch him on fire. But the sleeper cell members ran a heavy slander campaign on Desmond, like they do on all of us that they've targeted for COINTELPRO. But where he says, a light-skinned black female with brown eyes and a weave. I was talking about the light. They send groups of two usually, and they work together, like they'd be in one vehicle together, and then they'll have a side vehicle, and whatever. At first, whenever my first group of COINTELPRO operatives were light-skinned females that followed me to stores, and like I'd pull in, and let me back up some. They hacked my cell phone back in 2024 as well, May of 2024, or put an audio device in there, so like a two-way device, and keep in mind, I'm talking about ending autism, cerebral palsy, Alzheimer's, dementia, all that stuff, telling the truth about vaccine injury being the sign of the heavy metals and vaccines are being magnetized, been offered a lot of money. I come from an extremely wealthy family. On my dad's side of the family, got millionaires in our family. My grandma, the Foshi side of my family, all as well, got millionaires, good people in the family. And one thing that these domestic terrorist sleeper cell members started doing as of like last year was like saying he comes from a really poor family, telling people that, which I don't. But I don't see nothing wrong with coming from a poor family as long as you're good, honest people. There ain't nothing wrong with any family you come from. But anyways, my first two COINTELPRO operatives that were following me around were light-skinned black women, and this can all be verified from the employees that work in the strip mall at Kroger's to Goodwill on Oak Street back in 2024 up till whenever they used the domestic terrorist sleeper cell used their fake property manager, the sleeper cell member who pretends to be a property manager at Domino's on Skyline, Walmart on Skyline, the Oak Street strip mall on Skyline, and he's notorious across Conway for screaming and yelling at people, coming at him all crazy, like the whole parking lot. He'll go through the parking lot screaming at people, which I think he's training the foot soldiers they bring into town, because you'll see him for like a few weeks out of a month, then he's gone for a year. But he's infamous across Conway. But anyways, what he's talking about, the light-skinned black female following him, he's telling the truth. And I've talked about it on social media, from my Facebook pages to my Twitter X pages, about the light-skinned black females, that first group I had. And then the second group happened to be two light-skinned black females that rode in the same vehicle together. And I guess it was probably like 7 months ago. I was at McDonald's on Oak Street in the morning, and the light-skinned black female was in the truck, a white extended cab truck. And whenever I get up to the counter in the morning, she would yell through the window. She'd yell either something through the drop-through window while standing at the counter, which there was no business at the McDonald's on Oak Street early in the morning. Like the time she was coming, I was giving no, I wasn't giving Javias a ride yet. But anyway, she'd yell through the window something about Taylor, which is my ex Taylor, and going to Cersei. And but one day she started screaming, Cersei, Cersei, Cersei. And then the lady working the window, because come to the drive-through like at least 2, if not 3 times that week, and yell, Cersei, 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 while I was standing at the counter. But the lady who was working the window that day, which happens to be a thick white lady who no longer works there, she fell down screaming when the domestic terrorist sleeper cell member, this the light-skinned black lady, was screaming, Cersei, Cersei, Cersei. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure that's the last day I seen her, the domestic terrorist group member who's a light-skinned black female. But also, whenever I got because I went from the first set of the domestic terrorist sleeper cell members, light-skinned black female, 2 sets of those, and then the heavy white females, and then short black weave wearing, like not real light skin but not dark black, and I'm pretty sure that they were men wearing weaves and corona masks, and they would go to St. Joe's all the time. And one thing about the people wearing corona masks, we're 4 years past the pandemic. They're wearing corona masks so you don't see their face and you don't see them yell while they're wearing the corona mask. But this dude's telling the truth as far as having a light-skinned black female. And just like some of the people being COINTELPRO out here on the street have been talking about the stand your ground law, saying, how long are we going to let them try to kill us before they succeed? How long are we supposed to be trying to work while these the trash of the planet is going around slandering our names, lying on us, trying to keep us from getting jobs, trying to steal as much as they can from people we know? And it's basically just a theft. It's a domestic terrorist sleeper cell, no doubt, hands down. They started the mass shooting at 5th Avenue Park. They had their people out at 5th Avenue Park harassing people. I was doing videos at 5th Avenue Park, letting every person who lived around that park and being loud as I could without screaming, but working each corner of that park, letting those people know, these people up by your house yelling, they're leaving. They walk up and start yelling, you live here. They're trying to get you ambushed when you leave your house or go to the gas station or get a mass shooting going here. And was doing videos for every bit of 2 months, and up to the day before or 2 days before the mass shooting happened at 5th Avenue Park, letting them know these people have been sitting out here and walking up to your houses. They're yelling, harassing people. Because I used to pull up, I would drive my van up there in the morning whenever I'm on that end of town, and I'd get out, and like my friend Will, who'd be in COINTELPRO, they'd be yelling at him. My friend Nathan White, who ended up getting hit by a train and killed, he was being COINTELPRO. He'd be out there, they'd be yelling at him, and I was letting the people know, these people yelling are trying to make it look like it's you. But then they had a mass shooting and got to see for themselves with bullets whizzing past their yard. And these COINTELPRO operatives, they've dressed up like blood gang members, and it was like 85% white skinned blood gang members with a few black dudes. And no one, like, I've seen these people all year, and no, they're not blood gang members, but here lately they've been dressing up like Antifa members. And the reason that they do the whole dress up thing is to try to place blame on other groups and get other groups blamed for the mass shootings that these domestic terrorist sleeper cells working with Chinese and Israeli nationals, aka military, to run COINTELPRO and to create violent events and mass shootings, start to get it blamed on, like Antifa, the Blood Gang, the Crips. Oh yeah, and they even have Chinese members that dress up like they're from Mexico, which I've talked about. And the only people I've had any trouble with that even look like they're from Mexico have been Chinese dudes dressed up like they're Mexicans. But anyways, getting back to Mr. Ross, and saying, and I've done these videos in Walmart before the stabbing, because the domestic terrorist sleeper cell members follow me in there and be yelling across the aisle, or they stand by the front door and talk to each other real loud, just saying crazy things. Like, I don't even have a misdemeanor record, really, and to be up there telling them stuff, but they stand by the front doors. But one of the tactics that they even used on me is I was, like, say, on aisle 1, and there'd be employees on aisle 2, and the sleeper cell members would get on aisle 3 and be yelling and stuff. But I've been doing this since October or May of 2024 with the domestic terrorist sleeper cell following me around, and to make it look like it was the employees on aisle 2. And so what I'm saying is, if Mr. Ross was on aisle 1 and the domestic terror sleeper cell members were on aisle 3, and Miss, I think her name's Brittany. I can't remember her name. I'm horrible with it. I have artificial intelligence screaming at me as I'm trying to tell this. But if she was on aisle 2, and they were harassing them or threatening them, then it would look like it was her harassing or threatening them. And then again, another tactic they use, and you can look this up for yourself, there are jobs paying $35 to $250 for just for people to be COINTELPRO operatives under gang stalking, and it's basically they get paid $35 to $250 to slander and harass people, and that's a possibility of what could have happened. That's more than most people make. I think that's about what Walmart employees make on the average of just working 20 hours a week. So for like 10 minutes of your time, it sounds good, but, and I'm not saying that's what happened, but it's the reality behind COINTELPRO being ran, the black bag programs of COINTELPRO being ran. And it's just a real possibility of what could happen. But like I said, I was in Walmart handing out flyers every bit at 3 months before and doing videos about the domestic terror sleeper cell being in there to let everyone around know, hey, these people yelling are in here trying to create a violent event. This is how they've been popping off mass shootings and stuff all over the country, trying to get our gun rights taken. And more importantly, they're a distraction from what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about what involves everybody and our children, that are kids labeled autistic and cerebral palsy are mislabeled because the heavy metals in their body have been magnetized by the electromagnetic frequency coming from the fiber optic grid and electrical grid. So corporate computer scientists known as artificial intelligence customer researchers can stream artificial intelligence and other information cloud frequencies from the fiber optic grid and electrical grid onto the magnetized vaccine metals and wirelessly brainwave data mine, creating the profitable appearance of medical, mental health, and supernatural terms like autism, cerebral palsy, Alzheimer's, dementia, every mental health term and every supernatural term. But I've already contacted a ton of police departments and sheriff's departments, but for some reason, like I think it's like 30% of my emails have been getting 48-hour hold on them or something like that, and that's the first time that's ever happened. Like even like out of all my emails getting holds, like I could email myself and it'd go through just fine, but emailing the sheriff's department or FBI field office, which I try to contact every sheriff across Arkansas and then work my way out, but for 45 hours you'll be notified if the delivery fails permanently. And that's kind of important for it to have your email about domestic terror sleeper cell. That might have just created another, which I'm gonna say they did it because I seen Mr. Ross when he was sitting here with his headphones on start looking around when his music was off, while the domestic terror sleeper cell members would be yelling homeless trash, schizophrenic, you effing N-word, thieving N-word, we'll get him, we'll do, whatever. Like they yell a whole blanket area statement. But like I said, since 2024, I've been inviting police officers from police departments all across the country, investigative journalists from all across the planet, human rights groups, sheriffs from across the country, FBI agents from across the country, and so on, just to come specifically watch a domestic terror sleeper cell try to create false flag violent events where real people get killed. And it's just on that. And I've been inviting them up here. I've been inviting a lot of those people up here since 2016 just to see what vaccine injury and Havana syndrome looks like so they can understand what's being done to our children, label some medical and mental health term. But my name's Jeremy Huffstickler. I use social media platform Twitter X, which my Twitter X pages are suspended for the moment, so I'll be using YouTube, but all my pages are Jeremy Huffstickler, 2+2 God's Word Never Wavered, and then 2+2 God's Word Never Wavered on Twitter X, and I got a bunch of Facebook pages, which are all about wireless brainwave data mining, which go from 2016 up until late 2023 or early 2024, and I'm fixing to do a YouTube channel again to get the information to the sheriff's departments and all that. But like I said, there's been a whop of my emails being held for 72 hours, and that has never happened before.